Okay, in this video I'm going to go over how to create an animation. This is mainly for people who are using Maya Lite. Maya Lite users cannot use the BVH exporters simply because Maya Lite will not allow certain scripts to run. Maya Lite has a lot of restrictions on it. One of the restrictions is it doesn't like you to run scripts that save files or open files. And so this is a workaround. Okay, now this is a workaround right now only for doing traditional animations on the avatar, just basically moving the avatar around and rotating the bones. The only bone you can translate animation on, meaning move the bone in three-dimensional space by actually moving it instead of just rotating it, is the M pelvis bone, or what is the hip bone. So in BVH terminology, the hip bone is not the two hip bones that are in the skeleton, the left and right M hip bones. It considers the hip bone, just HIP, hip, is the M pelvis bone. Okay, so the biggest, most important thing, and this is good even if you're not a Maya Star user. Say you want to make your own animations and you want to use, and you're using Maya Lite, and you don't have Maya Star, or you don't want to use Maya Star. It's fine with me. You can create your own skeleton and use it to export it out to a program called Animeeple, or Animeeple. This has been around for quite a while. It's hasn't been updated since 2010, but it's a free program. It's a fairly light software program, so it's not, you don't have to have a huge, you don't have to download something that has, if you're looking for something lighter that doesn't take up a lot of memory, this is a pretty good program. Blender takes up a lot of memory, and Poser, I haven't tried Poser yet. Poser is another free another free program that can import FBX files and export them out as BVH, although I haven't done it yet. But I have done it successfully with Animeeple. Okay, so anyway, I'll have a link to their website where you can download and stuff. Okay, so what you need to know. Okay, so you need to make sure your skeleton has the right bone names. So this is, let's actually go up here to the actual skeleton. That's the human IK. Okay, it will open. Okay, so there's the hip bone, and that's the M pelvis. So you would take your skeleton, and what was the M hip bone? You would name it M pelvis. Okay. Abdomen was the torso, chest was the M chest, neck was the M neck, head was the M head, figure hair was the M skull, effector eye right and effector eye left were the M eye right, M eye left, and M collar left is now L collar left. It's very important that you use these names. M shoulder left was now L shoulder, and I'd keep the capitalization when you have it. You see it here. Forearm, L forearm, L hand, and so this would be L hand would be, okay, so that would be collar, shoulder, elbow, M wrist, and this would be the M hand bone. But it's called the effector R, or effector L hand. At least this is what I've got it to work with. And then of course it's the same for the right arm. Okay. Now the M hip right is now just R thigh. The M knee right is just R shin, M ankle right is now just R ankle. M foot right is now just R foot. And the M toe right is now just R toe. And then on the very end, I put an effector toe right. So you might have to add this bone if you don't have it in your skeleton. Okay, you might be able to do without them. I'm not 100% sure. And then, of course, it's the same thing over here. Okay, so that's very important. If you use these names, you'll be good to go. Now, you might have noticed that I'm using a human IK system. You don't have to use a human IK system if you don't want to. I do the labeling one. It's an old version of human IK. I don't even know if they have it in the newer versions of Maya. Where is it? Yeah, they don't even have it. Even though the command is still there, it's not. I have never been able to find it. See, this is a newer human IK system. The old human IK system is, if you want to run this command, you can. Characterize, dash, space, dash, pin, hand, feet, dash, type, dash, label, or not dash, label, just label, posture, biped. That's how you actually have to run. You don't have to run the do toggle, auto, activate body parts. You just do this first part, and then execute it. But you have to have the root selected when you do that. The hip is also considered the root. And if you come over here to Attribute Editor, this is where the labels are. So, and you can see, spine, center spine, center neck, head, other, center other, doesn't matter, other right eye, other left eye. Of course, these don't get controls on it. These little balls are controls. Or handles, they call them. Then there's left collar, left shoulder, left elbow, left hand, and left other. The other you can name it whatever you want to name it. You can also do the right with the right collar. Go through those. So you have to label all these. These are the different ones. Left hip, left shin. See how I'm saying that it's called hip here, but for BVH purposes, that the M pelvis bone is the hip. But in in these joint labels, each program does slightly different. So, okay, then there's knee, foot, left index toe. So the ankle is the left foot. And then left index toe, and left index toe. Okay, so you can generate a human IK that way if you want, and then you get these nice little handles to animate with. Now you can either animate by selecting the bone itself. There's the forearm, and creating keys and rotating it and doing it all manually, or you can use these nice little handles. We'll make a quick little animation here. See, here's the human IK. There's the effector, or the left hand, and I guess EFF stands for effector, I guess. I'm not sure. Okay, so, say we want to make an animation with this hand. All we have to do is we're going to hit, you can go to Animation, where is it? Oh, there it is. And Set Key. Mine, I have the S, which is usually the default for the shortcut for that. Here are my options that I have set for this. All manipulator handles, current frame, full body, IK. Probably also do that one as well. Okay, so you can sit there and click apply, and we're on frame 1. You make sure you're on frame 1. You see frame 1 now has a little bar there. We're going to make a rope. We're just going to do 48 frames, and we're just going to make a loop. So we'll apply it there, and then we'll come back here to say frame 24. We're going to move it, say up to there, and apply it again, or I could have just hit the S key on the keyboard. Okay, so now we made a nice little animation. And now we're going to export. Okay, so let's see. You can just not have anything selected, I believe, and just click Export All. Come over here, switch this to FBX. Okay, and then here are the settings that I use. Default, preserve references. I don't have anything selected there. Animations you want to make sure is on. Bake animations, because we're doing 1 through 48. That will automatically be selected, whatever you have in here. But yeah, so you could do it for 1 through 48. And then what's other really super important is if you're using these handles, if you're using an IK system, or, you know, like I have here, human IK, I want to make sure constraints and skeleton definitions are turned off. You might be able to have skeleton definitions, but I think you have, I know that if you have these on, both of them on, it won't upload correctly. Let's try it with constraints on. And we're just going to override this one. Override. Yes. Okay, it gives you a little warning. You can pretty much ignore it. It just converted some stuff there. Okay, so now we'll go over here to Animeeple. Okay, and what you want to do is you want to import, and here's our file. And hey, it imported. Now, if you see a check mark in there, and you see the arm, you see the actual arm doing, that means you're good to go. If you come here to bones, these are the bones, and they're all good. If there was a problem, you wouldn't have a check mark there, you'd have an X mark there. Size, this is really important. Okay, the size needs to be 39 times 0.370079 times bigger than what you export out of Second Life, out of Maya. And that's because BVH exporters, 1 unit of movement, if you're going to actually move the avatar in 3-dimensional space, you know, like say they're doing a dance or something, where you're actually moving the avatar, not just rotating the bones, but you're actually moving the avatar. This is really super important, otherwise it won't move the right amount of distance. You know, it'll barely move when you go to upload it in Second Life, and it will barely move in here on this grid. So yeah, that's super important. Okay, now I'm going to go back and show you a quick little thing of, say we didn't have okay, so constraints is okay to have on. If we have skeleton definitions on, will it still allow us to import it? Come back here to Animeeple. Right, okay, it will allow you to import, but notice how the animation is not playing. See, it won't play the animation. Now, if you didn't have the handles, it would have been fine. It would have played the animation. If you weren't using an IK system or a human IK system. So this is, you can see it's playing. It's trying to play in the animation, but nothing's happening. So that tells you it's not working right. Okay, so this is super important. Let's export it out again. Export all. You can export selection if you really want to, but you have to export out. You have to select the hip bone before you export. Okay, so let's come down here and turn off skeleton definitions. And you can, constraints doesn't matter if it's on or off. try it off. Okay, so we'll replace it again. And then we'll come in here, and we'll go import. Okay, now everything's playing correctly. And you got a check mark, and you can go import. Now this is where this is a little tricky for this program. Okay, you need to bring it into the scene. So what you got to do is you got to go to your imports. You got to hold down the mouse cut, and you're going to drag this, and then you put it over on the scene, and then you got to drag it over here, and you put it around to the center, and you drop it. Okay. The other thing you want to do is you want to come up here to mesh, center at origin, see it move to the center, and then drop on floor. Okay. And now, but see, it's huge. But you need it to be that big if you're actually going to be moving it in three-dimensional space. Now, even though it looks like it's moving around and it's not at the origin anymore, I think that's a problem with the camera. It really isn't moving. So now you come down here and you can play the animation. Okay. Okay, so now what we can do is say now that you've got it into here, you want to export out the BVH file. So what you can do is you can come up here to Mesh, Animation Only, and then select BVH, and we'll make a brand new file. 9. Save it. It's already written. And now we'll come back here, and I'm on the beta test grid, and animation, and then there's the one we just made, and you can put it on loop. And I'm using Firestorm, and with Firestorm it's really nice in that it actually plays the animation on your avatar, so you can see exactly what it's going to look like. And there's the animation. And you can upload it. You know, I could say upload, and there's the animation. Play locally. Okay, so now let's try something real quick. I'm going to start a new file. Discard. I'm going to come back here, and I'm going to select just the pelvis. Or not the pelvis bone, the hip bone. The M pelvis, but it's here, it's the, I'm just selecting that one bone. And now I'm going to go File, Export Selection, with the same settings. Where was it? Yeah, these were not selected. I'm going to write over that same file. And I come back here to Animeeple, import, and there you go. Now, if you didn't have the M, the hip selected, this is what will happen. So I could import this if I wanted to. Okay. So if I came back here and say, I don't know if this will work or not. Let's see. Okay, so we animated the left arm. So let's select the left collar, or the left, and then go File, Export Selection, right over it. Okay, with a warning. Come here to Animeeple. Come over here to Import. Okay. So there's the animation. See, you don't have all the all the bones, and you're getting the X. It won't let you import it without the rest of the skeleton. So anyway, so that's why you have to select the M pelvis bone. Let's see. So anyway, so that's basically it. Those were all of the key things. Like I said, you have to have these names right. You absolutely have to have them right. It's also Y up, Z forward, X right and left. That's super important too. If you don't have your skeleton in that orientation of Y up, Z forward, X right and left, it will come in all messed up. You can see it's also pretty tall. That's because this is 39 times bigger. Let's select the M-hip again. Export selection. I write over files all the time, otherwise it just keeps the number of files to a more reasonable level. Okay, again, File, Import, and then there's the animation. Okay, so say we want to do an animation real quick. Say you want to do an animation where he's moving, or she is moving, whichever. And you're going to do a translation animation, right? You're going to do a translation animation. So, so you have your move. We're going to make it a loop again. Move that over to the side. Okay, I'm just going to hit apply. First frame, last frame, apply. Come to say frame 24, and we're going to move the character forward 24, and oh, that's interesting. I'm not sure how that will come out. Okay, let's stop this. I think I should have moved it with the IK. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, I'm going to Control Z to get rid of that one and that one. Okay, so instead of selecting that, we're going to select the human IK instead. So we're going to apply, move it forward, and apply, run the animation. Okay. So if you didn't have a human IK, you'd have to move it by moving the pelvis bone. So now, I'm going to select the hip bone. It says hip. Right now I'm going to export selection. Okay, ignore the error. Import. There we go. You see now, you can see how it's moving. Now this is where it's really super important to have the size down like that. So now we have it there. Now we're going to drag that to that way to get to select the scene. We're going to drop it. We're going to say center, drop to floor, export animation only, BVH, we'll do 10. Okay, it's written. Come here, second line, animation, there's 10, and there we go. Now we see that he's moving forward. Whoops. So many different camera controls. And if we zoom out here, and play the animation here. Oh, gotta do it with the, my mouse wasn't working there. Okay, let's see, and if we play the animation in Maya, oh, it seems to be moving farther here than in here. Could be because I have a male avatar and this is a female skeleton. not 100% sure. Let's see if I switch this to default shape. It still doesn't look like they're working as far. That looks a heck of a lot farther. I'm going to have to figure that out. Maybe it's because I exported it out as, let's see, let's try this again. Gotta select this. File, export selection. Come here to, where is it? Meters, centimeters. Okay. And let's see. Okay. We're going to Animeeple. Import. Come on, open. There's a new one. On the same, maybe I have something wrong with the size. Okay, all I know is if we were to not import with that, okay, let's import. If we were to import this with, say, 1.0, see now it's much smaller. Okay. Now let's, oh, and if for some reason you get out when you don't have the avatar selected again, you just have to go Scene, Object, and select one of the two identified objects. So I think that's the camera. See, it's not selected anymore. You just come over here to Scene, Objects, and there you go. And I don't even think it matters where in the scene that is when you do it, but we'll just do center origin. BVH 11. Save. Come here. Okay. Close. Animation. 11. Whoops. Pen tablet. Okay. See, it hardly moved. And it's moving in a weird direction for some reason. It isn't even moving. Maybe it's just because the way the avatar is standing. Kind of standing. Very weird. Anyway, I'll have to figure out the exact percentage-wise how big. But you can see if it comes in, if you don't change the size, it doesn't fit right. Let's see. Maybe I need to do it center origin. Oh, come on. I don't want the camera. I want. Oh, it's because see, this program doesn't like my Wacom mouse or Wacom mouse. Come on. See. There we go. Okay. Mesh. Center. Drop to the floor. Okay. Export animation only. Okay. Make sure we got the right And then Second Life doesn't like my pen tablet. If I use the pen, it doesn't like the pen. If I'm in the other program, it doesn't like the mouse. It's still doing that weird to the side thing. Don't know why. Oh, wait a minute. Come on, come on, come on, come on. What's that? Continue animations. Weird. Don't know why it's going off to the side like that instead of forward. Still think it's not on 3D. Oh, something really weird's going on. Okay. Okay. Come on. Work properly this time. I don't know why it wants to go to the side like that. It's very weird. Maybe it is going forward, just kinda. Not 100% sure what the heck's going on. Again, kind of, see, when I go to Animeeple, I have to stop using my Wacom mouse and switch over to the pen. Very weird. Okay, so those are just some of the idiosyncrasies of Animeeple. But anyways, you can see you do have to import it in as a larger size. I was assuming it would be how many inches are in a meter, because BVH files are in inches, and then Second Life converts inches to the Second Life units, which are meters. So there's so many inches per meter. So that's why it's 39 times bigger. It's 1 unit in BVH, which is inches, gets converted to 1 unit in Second Life, and there's 39 inches in a meter. So that's why I made it 39 times blah, 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 something bigger. So anyway, the bad thing that Animeeple doesn't do, it will only allow you to animate translations on the M pelvis bone or the human IK to move it. It only allows translations, animations on that. You can rotate or translate that, or the hip bone. You know, the human IK if you're using an IK system. So to move the avatar around, you saw when I just moved it by the hip that the human IK didn't go with it, so it got all messed up. If you didn't have an IK on it, you could just move the hip bone where you wanted to. Let's see. Let's see what I'm trying to say. So, but yeah, okay. So the bad news about Animeeple is it will only allow what is called 3-channel animation on. Let's see. It'll allow 6-channel animation. Here, I think I have one open. Do I have one open? Let's see. Let me. All right, come on. I want to open up a BVH file. Okay, I want to open up this BVH file with WordPad. Okay. Whoops. Okay, so there's 3 channels and 6 channels. 6 channels will allow you to animate the XYZ position, that's translation animations, and the other 3 channels are the X, Y, and Z rotation. Or YZ, X rotation, and XYZ position. But all the other bones, it will only allow 3 channels and its rotation only, which is what Second Life used to be. Before Bento, That's the only type of animations you could do, was 6-channel animation on the root, and on the root being the hip bone, or the hip, the M pelvis bone, and then 3-channel rotation only on all the other bones. That's how Second Life used to be before Bento. Now you can have 6-channel animation on all the bones. I am going to try and contact the makers or Animeeple and see if they won't, see if they're not willing to allow 6-channel animations to export out on for BVH on this particular program. I've tried exporting out 6-channel. I've already tried making an animation where I did a translation animation on one of these other bones. It doesn't work with Animeeple. Animeeple will simply ignore those, and when it imports, it won't translate. Like if you want to make this arm shoot out, like it was made out of rubber, and you did have it in Maya and it was shooting out, it would not, when it imported, the arm would not shoot out. It would rotate, but it wouldn't shoot out. So I've already tried it with Animeeple. Like I said, I'm going to try to contact the Animeeple makers, and they do have a thing for SL down here. So they do have an interest in Second Life. Maybe I can convince them, now that Bento is out and more people with Maya are using different programs, or people using different programs, being able to import an FBX file and export it out as BVH for Second Life would be very handy and might make their program a little more popular. So, alrighty. And with this Animeeple, you can also, if you find the documents for it, you can actually do animations from scratch. Once you have the skeleton in, you can do animations from scratch with this particular program. I haven't learned how to do it. I played around with it a long time ago. But as far as this is basically just how to get an FBX into Animeeple, or Animeeple, or Animeeple, and and get them exported out as BVH files for Second Life. That's what the goal of this video is for, and to help me not forget how I did it. So if I can look back at this video and say, oh yeah, that's right, that's how I did it. So, alrighty, have a great day, and we'll talk to you later. See you in the next video.